against terror.
After 10-hour raids, ED arrests MP Sanjay Singh in connection with the liquor gate. Actor Ranbir Kapoor summoned by the ED in multi-crore betting scam probe, asked to appear on October 6. Foreign Bollywood celebrities under scanner in the Mahadev betting scam. More summons likely soon. Delhi police probe goes beyond the Chinese funding. Funds used for anti-national activities under investigation.
बात करनी होती तो मैं 2.5 घंटा वहाँ बैठी रही और झूठ बोलना बंद करें। टीएमसी के सांसद वार्तालाप करने आए ही नहीं थे, उनको प्रोपोगंडा करना था।
Central Minister Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti counters TMC claim on dues to West Bengal, calls protest a drama. Flash floods in Sikkim and Kalimpong after cloud burst. 23 army personnel still missing, at least 3 dead. At the Asian Games, Neeraj Chopra wins gold with 88.88 meter throw. China finishes with silver in javelin final. Good evening and welcome friends to this edition of Burning Question. The Liquorgate scam has completely exploded after 10 hours of raids at about 5:30 p.m. today. The Enforcement Directorate arrested Aam Aadmi Party leader and Member of Parliament, in fact, Sanjay Singh, in connection with the Delhi excise policy case, or the Liquorgate as it is called. The arrest was followed by high drama outside Sanjay Singh residence, where the AAP leaders staged a massive protest against the arrest. The arrest of a leader who was seen in all national meetings of the India Alliance will surely have larger ramifications. The Aam Aadmi Party, in fact, has already called it one among many actions which smack of political vendetta on the part of the central government using the central agencies. And the same was seen as a big political fight, broke out. Listen into the allegations by the Aam Aadmi Party and the counter that's come from the BJP, and then we come back to debate.
लोगों की सबसे मजबूत आवाज संजय सिंह जी को जिस तरीके से बिना किसी सबूत, बिना किसी ठोस कारण गिरफ्तार किया गया है, ये बात साबित होती है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी जानते हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री जी चुनाव हार रहे हैं।
देश की जनता ने अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बाहर फेंकने का मन बना लिया है और जब भी कोई तानाशाही की सरकार देखती है कि उनका समय आ गया है, तो उसके बाद यही सिलसिला शुरू होता है कि जो उनके खिलाफ आवाज उठाएगा उसको जेल में डाल दिया जाएगा। और यही सिलसिला आज भारत में शुरू हो गया है कि चाहे पत्रकार हो, चाहे विपक्ष के नेता हो, उनको एक एक करके चुप करने की कोशिश की जा रही है।
दिल्ली वाले जानते हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी अरविंद केजरीवाल और उनके साथियों ने शराब में घोटाला किया है, दिल्ली की जनता को लूटा है, सच सामने आ रहा है।
भ्रष्टाचार पर फिर से एक बार आम आदमी पार्टी विक्टिमहुड कार्ड खेल रही है, ड्रामा का कार्ड खेल रही है। इस पूरे घोटाले में 2 लोगों ने अप्रूवर बनने का काम किया है। उसमें से एक है दिनेश अरोड़ा, वही दिनेश अरोड़ा जो मनीष सिसोदिया के साथ भी दिखाई देते हैं, जिनके बड़े बड़े नाइट क्लब और बार भी है और जिनके साथ संजय सिंह का सीधा सीधा कनेक्शन है।
All right, in a bit I would be joined by Shazia Ilmi, spokesperson of the BJP, and Hakim Rizwan Elahi, a political analyst leaning towards the Aam Aadmi Party. But we already have Suman C. Raman, political analyst leans towards the Congress Party, and Rohan Somen Mitra, another political analyst, also leans towards the Congress Party. But most importantly, we have Abanandita Mathur. She's a spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and I would like to begin with her because the party has called it a case of political vendetta, with Sanjay Singh, their senior leader, being arrested. Abanandita, the fact that many of your leaders, including your number 2 Manish Sisodia still remains in jail, not getting bail. What makes you say with so much confidence that this is just political witch hunt and nothing else?
Good evening to you and your viewers. First thing first, we absolutely refute these bogus charges that are being framed by the BJP, hand in glove at the moment, very unfortunately, with the CBI and the ED.
Audio issue there.
And it is for everybody
I'm not able to...
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Yes, please go ahead now.
Okay. I'm saying that first thing first, we refute these bogus charges that are being framed against us, against our leaders. Number two, we have all the reason in the world to believe that this is vendetta, simply because if they have not been able to establish a money trail, if there has not been enough evidence, and if they were so serious about crime, if they were so serious about alcohol as a trade, if they were so serious about, taking care of women of this country, they would have acted otherwise. So we have all the reason in the world that this Modi government is actually selectively going after anybody who makes sense right now. Anybody who is actually doing their work that the BJP themselves cannot compete with. So a leader like Arvind Kejriwal ji, a leader like Sanjay Singh, leaders like Manish Sisodia ji are people that the BJP cannot buy. And that is the reason why they are, absolutely, they cannot understand how to deal with them. This is the Aam Aadmi Party, and unfortunately, the BJP has no other way to deal with us than to, make bogus charges and put us all in jail.
Okay, Abhinandita, you got your opening. Now, let me take this to the Congress-leaning Rohan Somen Mitra. Rohan, it's going to be a piquant situation for the Congress party. The Aam Aadmi Party can say this is witch hunt by the BJP, and the BJP is uncomfortable with the rising Aam Aadmi Party. What, according to you, would be the position of the Congress? Because Congress also is an opponent of the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, in Punjab, at many other places. The Aam Aadmi Party continues to grow at the expense of the Congress Party. Would you stand by them in the present situation?
Good evening, Abhishek. Good evening to all your viewers and all the other panelists. I'm glad that you put this question in the way you did, because it shows that the Congress and the AAP haven't been together in the political circles for the longest time. And yes, as you said, the AAP has grown in the expense of the Congress in Punjab, in Delhi. But you should see the sequence of events which has happened in the past few months, where the Congress has gone out of its way and stood by the AAP when the Lieutenant Governor issue came up and we voted in the Rajya Sabha with the AAP. The Congress always wants to do what is the right thing. So even today, if you would have heard the Congress president of Delhi, he's gone on record and said it was the Congress which brought up this liquor scam into the public domain. It wanted the investigations to be done. It wanted a CBI probe. It wanted the guilty to be punished. But it does not expect a political witch hunt to go. By that, what I mean is, today, on what charges has Mr. Sanjay Singh been arrested? Even in the Supreme Court today, Abhishek, if you would see, the Supreme Court has pulled up the ED for the way it has gone about its investigations in various cases. There's a lot of bitterness, there's a lot of vindictiveness, and in the political sphere, it is clear that the BJP is using the ED, the CPI, the income tax on its political opponents. So today, the Congress party wants to know what are the charges on which Mr. Sanjay Singh has been arrested, because when the ED left with Mr. Sanjay Singh, he wasn't given any notice on what charges was he being arrested.
Rohan.
Secondly, if you notice...
Rohan.
Yes, sorry.
Rohan, are you not tying yourself into knots really? I mean, you brought out the scam. Investigation is going on based on an accused who later turned approver. The statement of that accused turned approver. The ED has questioned the Sanjay Singh for 10 hours and they have arrested. Obviously, he would have to be produced before a court of law.
No,
and
Abhishek,
the agency cannot take an action without being confident about the fact that their story would stand ground before a court of law. So I think, why are you contradicting yourself just because you have to be seen to be standing with a lie of the India lands?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Abhishek. If you see the look up the verdict of the Supreme Court, which has come up given the verdict today. It has come up in the morning. It has pulled up the ED on its failures. The two accused today in the case, which today they got bail. There's no charges, I mean, my point is, if somebody is guilty, please take it up. But don't go on a political witch hunt. We've seen Mr. Sanjay Singh being, suspended on the in the Rajya Sabha. You cannot go on a political witch hunt and use the agencies against your political opposition. That is where we draw the line. If somebody is guilty, he should be punished. But the ED has not got anyone guilty in the last 1 year.
Okay, fair enough. I think you're still not making sense somehow, Rohan, or at least not sounding confident. I'm told Shazia Ilmi of the BJP has joined. Yes, I can see her live. And Shazia, before I come to you, I have to get opening comments from Suman C. Raman also. Suman C. Raman, in the court, there is no verdict, as Rohan says. I'm told we have some development on the ground. Are we going live? Okay, no. Suman C. Raman, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who appeared for Manish Sisodia in the Supreme Court today because the bail hearing is going on. And remember, for whatever defense the Aam Aadmi Party gives, the fact of the matter is that it's been 8 months and Manish Sisodia's bail plea has gone through three courts including the Delhi High Court, and he has not got bail. And today, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who by the way is also a legal for the Congress party, a senior leader of the party, he has said, unfortunately, there are some high value targets in politics who are not supposed to get bail. Now, casting aspersions on the judiciary, that's how far things have come really in the legal defense of the Aam Aadmi Party and their leaders.
No, in fact, if anybody should know whether there is any statement which constitutes contempt of court or not, it should be Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who is one of the country's best known lawyers. So I think that we cannot educate him on what constitutes contempt of court and so on, or casting aspersions on the judiciary. Now the point really is very simple. The same gentleman, Sanjay Singh, was given a letter of apology by the ED in May 2023 for by mistake naming him in the charge sheet, quote unquote, by mistake, right? Now what has changed after that? Mr. Sanjay Singh has gone after the director of ED and the deputy director, and he has sought permission to prosecute them for defamation and written to the finance secretary asking for such permission. So the ED has a very valid reason to go after Mr. Sanjay Singh because he is going after them, and trying to file defamation, sue them for defamation. The other issue is also that he has been extremely critical in Parliament, and we have seen some of his speeches in Parliament also. Now the point is, so far this matter has been going on for months now, and yet we have not seen evidence, at least in the public domain, of a money trail. All that we have is somebody turns approver. As soon as
are you keen to see evidence or not?
No, we are keen to see the
evidence. Suman C. Raman, the Congress party, is the party keen to see evidence or not? Because, we are not able to understand whether you are in support of the Aam Aadmi Party or actually against them, because Rohan said this is the scam which they brought out to light, to attention.
I cannot speak on behalf of the Congress party, but logically, I can tell you that at any point of time, the objective would be to see justice is done. In this particular case, all that we have are repeated statements made by various people who become approvers. I think there are now 3 approvers in this case. Each of them says, I gave 4 crores here, I gave 3 crores to somebody else, I gave Manish Sisodia 2.5 crores. All of this is just coming out now. If these crores, various crores were given, there must be some evidence of it. Sisodia's house has been searched. Sisodia's bank lockers have been searched. Somewhere, at some point, there needs to be a money trail to establish. And obviously, every time, one minute, every time the matter goes to court, something new, somebody new turns up.
No. You see, you can't have arguments.
The Magunta Srinivas Reddy's son become an approver. They've all become approvers.
Sumant Raman, listen. So far as this argument that there should be a money trail, there should be something found in the lockers in the Almira of Manish Sisodia or Sanjay Singh.
Not Almira.
These
Not
are
Almira.
arguments which should be called
Not
babe out
Almira.
of the woods argument. These should be babe
Not
out of the woods
Almira.
argument, remember.
There must
because
be some evidence
this is
the man
not
has
how
taken
corruption
money.
works really. I mean,
I'm sorry. How does corruption work?
obviously, there should be some evidence, but it is not to be found in the lockers or the almiras of these leaders, wherever it happens,
Can
you
I come in? Can I come in? It has been given in the form of equity. It has been given in the form of Bitcoin. It has been given in the form of something else.
Now it's getting
Because,
interesting.
you know why?
Now it's getting interesting. Shazia Ilmi wants to come in. Shazia Ilmi, before you respond to the Aam Aadmi Party's political witch hunt charge, I have to add, the BJP has been maintaining that it was a scam, so and so much money was lost. I mean, you have to at least have some evidence of it. And if you have, after almost a year-long investigation, some of it should be brought out in public domain.
So it is hilarious, when I heard Sumanji talk about evidence that should be there. I mean, did he expect? I mean, Sumanji, things have changed a lot for even the corrupt since Sukhram these days, when he used to hide stashes of cash under his mattress. Your Congress leader. Things have changed a lot since then, and I'm sure Aam Aadmi Party is smarter and knows better than to keep things in Sanjay Singh's Almira and
But the agencies have to be smarter than that.
So that's one thing, and nobody expects to find trails and trails of cash. Nobody, and I think Aam Aadmi Party is the last party to be that foolish. They are super smart, to say the least. I've worked with them. I was a founder. So I think Sumant Swada very sweetly and very almost cutely said, what has changed?
Abhinandita, you're getting compliments. Abhinandita, you're getting compliments.
You know what has changed? What has changed is a statement of Dinesh Arora, which shows a trail of money and how 82 lakhs of a check exchange hands, how the money was collected. And this is exactly the evidence that Manish Sisodia and the entire company was trying to destroy. But there is evidence, there's forensic evidence, there's documentary evidence. So you don't find money in Sanjay Singh's under the table and under the bed. Please, Sumanji, आपके लोग करते होंगे पहले ज़माने में. ये कांग्रेस के लोग करते थे. ये ज़माना बदल गया है. Corruption finds itself in different ways. So now, obviously, and what is the reason? I heard the other friend say, Supreme Court reprimanded ED. If Supreme Court is so keen to reprimand ED, why doesn't it give bail to Manish Sisodia? It is the same Supreme Court when it deemed fit. They gave bail to Sanjay Raut. Very early in the day, it is the same Supreme Court which gave bail to Rahul Gandhi.
Sumant Raman, one by one.
Supreme Court which gave bail to Sonia Gandhi.
Okay.
Why did they refuse to give bail to Manish Sisodia? After all, those are
Sumant Raman, one by one.
Tell me, do you have any reason or you just talking because you have to? I mean, come on, at least use some basic intelligence.
Yeah, okay. You got your opening comments. I'm told Hakim Rizwan Ilahi is also with us now.
Basic intelligence.
But Sumant Raman, please pull back.
Yeah, but Shahza Ilmi, please let me speak now. Yes, spoken enough.
Sumant Raman, pull back. Sumant Raman, pull back. Shazia Ilmi, please complete 30 seconds before I go back to Abhinandita for the counter. Shazia Ilmi, please complete.
Nobody's talking about which Manish Sisodia has not been able to answer. What happened with the liquor policy? Why was the government of Delhi suffering a loss despite the increased sales and consumption? Why were the private companies brought in? Why was 144 crores waived off?
Okay, Abhinandita.
And the
okay, good. Abhinandita, Shazia, let her respond. Abhinandita, just one question I have to add. No, one question I have to add to what Shazia Ilmi has asked you, Abhinandita, and which is that if the liquor policy was so good, why did you withdraw it? Answer.
Okay. First thing, we have actually gone through these debates for many months now, as long as 15 months, if I can correct the other spokesperson. Also, Ms. Shazia Ilmi is very generous with her comments about the Aam Aadmi Party's intelligence, and we can promise you we're not going to let her down. And to come back to what you were asking me,
don't let the people of Delhi down with your corruption. Please start with that. Forget about me. I know how badly let down I feel by the rest of you. I don't know whether you were there. But don't lead the people of Delhi down. This is Delhi taxpayers' money.
The reason why the BJP is going after the journalists of this country,
don't do that. It's a matter of great shame. These people are supporting you because they hate Modi. But everybody knows you're corrupt.
Modi has failed to deliver. The fact is that Mr.
Don't
Modi
change
has
the topic.
failed to
No,
deliver,
don't change the topic.
which is why they're
Don't
having
change
to
the
go
topic.
after
Okay.
the
Don't change the
India,
topic.
which is why
Oh, no,
they're
don't
having
change
to
the
go
topic.
after every single
Why
honest
can't you answer
opposition
basic
leader.
questions? What
अगर
stops you
आप
from
आज
answering
बीजेपी
basic
को ज्वाइन
questions?
कर
Okay.
लेते हैं
You have
तो
no
आप
answer. You have no
Shazia,
answer.
Shazia.
आप washing machine में
Shazia.
धुल जाएंगे. And if you don't join the BJP, then they will just keep
Shazia.
you in custody. And everybody knows it's hard to get bails in ED or PMLU cases. That is a fact.
I
It is
just named so
unfortunate
many
that
opposition
Shazia
leaders who
Alvi
got it.
was quoting certain facts. Let me put this on
Yes.
record that the Delhi government was and remains in profit, which is also how we counter the allegations about
no,
the
you're lying
policy.
again. The excise
Because
policy,
there
you
were no
lost
losses as
585
quantified.
crores
She is dying
in
on
one
prime
winter,
time TV.
despite increased
And
sales.
that is
You're
what is
lying.
appalling, So we are not going to
12%
be...
loss.
Look, the
12%
people of this country...
to the Delhi Exchequer, you're lying.
2% of
12%
people
loss to
did
the
vote
Delhi
for you,
Exchequer,
ma'am,
more than
but a lot of
585
people are
crores,
really
despite
troubled by you.
sales
Log
and
pareshan
consumption,
ho
which
jaye
was up
jumle
by
se.
four
Log
times,
pareshan
so
ho
100%.
jaye
Oh, that's a big number. Shazia?
opposition pe jaane se. You are
Shazia,
absolutely-
585 crores. Did you say that?
absolutely-
Because that's a big number. I have not seen this number.
No, it's everywhere. 12% is the loss. This is the excise policy. This is when the
what is
departmental
evidence?
inquiry
What are you
started.
talking about?
So
The
Manish
Delhi
Sisodia
government
started
revenue
this
for all
policy.
this.
Manish Sisodia started this policy
you
and then
must call it
realized
out.
and then made sure there was rampant corruption, which
No,
is the
okay,
trail
you
of
made a
which they were
charge.
trying to
You made a
destroy,
strong charge. Let-
which
I don't want
which
to
has
shout.
been found, and which is
I
why
don't
the
want to
Andhra
shout.
MP's son,
I
who was
don't
turned
want to
approver,
shout, but
he
it is very,
and
very
Dinesh
fortunate.
Arora have
It is
given the
very
names,
fortunate
and
that
Sanjay
the
Singh
Shazia-
was present along with
Shazia.
along with Manish
Shazia.
Sisodia when the first meeting took place.
You made your charge.
And there were all the blacklisted
Okay, you made your
companies were
charge.
given not
Shazia,
one
you
zone,
made your
but
charge.
two zones.
Let's have a
The
structured
dry day
conversation.
was
I am
reduced
yet to
from
get
21
Hakeem.
days to 3 days
I am
to give undue
Okay,
benefit
Shazia.
to these players.
Okay,
Profiteering.
Shazia. Okay, Shazia. You made your charge. Let her respond. Abhinandita, you get to respond to the specific charge made by Shazia Ilmi that the money is not 144 crores, perhaps 585 crores if I heard her correctly. Please respond. And before I go to Hakeem, after you.
Yes, on record, I would like to say that her allegations are as bogus as the allegations of the ED and CBI at the moment. I don't think she has her facts and numbers right at all. The Delhi government is one of the only governments that has been in profit throughout, the time that since the Aam Aadmi Party came. In fact, we reviewed these allegations because the government was not in losses. And that is what is surprising. They are saying loss हुआ है, loss
Okay.
हुआ है, extra loss हुआ है. भैया loss नहीं हुआ है. Loss नहीं हुआ है और यही प्रॉब्लम है इसीलिए
Okay, no, in fact, there seems to be.
आप सफेद झूठ टीवी में नहीं
Abhinandita.
बोलेंगे.
No, Abhinandita, the facts are being investigated by the agencies, both the CBI and the ED. One correction there for Suman Raman, because the apology that happened was not by ED, I believe, it was by the CBI, and it was a typographical error where the CBI wanted to write Rahul Singh, they ended up writing Sanjay Singh. But that was only one place where that mistake was made. At 3 other places, Sanjay Singh's name was there. Now, the question is,
one second.
Hakeem Elahi, for how long can Aam Aadmi Party, I'll come to you, Sumant. I was correcting, but I'll come to you. Hakeem Elahi,
Not right. That's not right.
for how long, I'll come to you. For how long, Hakeem Elahi, would the Aam Aadmi Party continue to cry victim when hearing after hearing, the courts are finding it difficult to buy into this victimhood and to give bail? It's not just about PMLA, it's a Prevention of Corruption Act case also. Remember, between the CBI and the ED. And at multiple levels, as in the case of Satyendra Jain, so in the case of Manish Sisodia, getting bail has been difficult for the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Obviously, there must be some substance which is making the courts come to a conclusion that maybe they should not be let out on bail.
Yes. First of all, let me tell you how BJP is exploiting the power. They have taken power to an extent where they are influencing the biggest institutions and the establishment of our nation. And one of the cases is one of the, if we look at ED, out of all the raids that they have carried out till now, 95% of them in their government, in NDA's government, it's on the opposition parties. And the conviction rate of these rates are 0.5%. And it's a fact. It's not by us. It's not, this record is not given by us. It's given by the Ministry of Home Affairs, first of all. Second of all, see now how they are exploiting. They are very good at exploiting, the power, the mandate that people of India have given them. But they don't understand. Today they are in power. Tomorrow, when they will be thrown out of these chairs, when these despots will be thrown out of India, then they're going to see how the other parties who are going to rule, the good people like Aam Aadmi Party, when they're going to rule the chairs and when they're going to have the mandate of people, 1.3 billion people of India, then these people, these BJP goons will understand how it feels.
If you have mandate of the people, you can keep them.
Enjoy their kind of policy. So let me tell you,
make no mistake,
you are
before calling names to the BJP,
behind bars,
it's
because you're doing vendetta politics and
it's a
nothing else apart from that.
democratically elected government of the
And
BJP.
It took these.
It's a democratically elected government of the BJP.
2 years to charge Sanjay Singh ji. I am not understanding. They have.
I want to read out. Can I read out?
It is not the BJP charging Sanjay Singh.
Why weren't they able to?
No. Hakim Elahi, I have to correct you there.
Put his name
It's not the
forward in these 2 years.
It's not the BJP charging Sanjay Singh. It's the Enforcement Directorate. And in earlier case with Manish Sisodia, both the CBI and the ED. These are agencies working. You can take a political position that these agencies work on the instructions of the political party, but that does not happen.
You shouldn't fall prey to this. We all know how BJP has been influencing the establishments, the agencies,
I have a question.
the police, everything.
Shazia, before I go to Sumant Raman, Shazia gets to respond. Rohan, I'll come to you. Shazia, quickly, because the charge has been made. Shazia, quickly.
So I'm saying, my simple point is that if you think the ED and CBI are working at the behest of Bharatiya Janata Party, then I want to ask you, why did Manish Sisodia actually have the policy? Why did the retail of 1.7 zones for liquor licenses were auctioned in 2 phases, and the total base fee was fixed at 7,025 crores for 21, and also the fact that the only 5,037 crore could be collected by Excise Department as a license fee. Why on earth were blacklisted companies given this? Why was 144 crores waived off in the first phase? And why were the dry days reduced from 21 to 3 just to give a boost to these folks? Similarly, 790
No. Hakim, Elahi, you got your chance.
BJP did not ask Manish Sisodia to do that. Did BJP tell Manish Sisodia to have a new policy which would lead to 719 crore loss, failure of collection of the license fee for non-opening of 1.7 vendors in the non-conforming wards due to High Court order? So why would Manish Sisodia be guided by BJP to do this? Manish Sisodia did it of his own call. The phone call that was made through Dinesh Arora, the famous FaceTime call, was to Arvind Kejriwal to make sure that the money is going in the right direction. Aurobindo Pharma, Vijay Nair, Dinesh Arora, there are 15 names here. And there's actually
only 30 seconds to Abhinandita to respond to that charge. Then I go to Rohan.
So that is nothing to do with BJP.
Okay.
That is what
Shazia, you made your point. You made your point. Abhinandita, it goes right up to Arvind Kejriwal is the charge of the BJP. The FaceTime call, the fact that your chief minister and your leader has been questioned.
Why did you do that? Why did you do corruption if you don't want BJP to catch you? It's through ED. That is your claim. So I think ED is a separate
government was in charge of the policy himself.
You corrupt, admit it. And it's shameful how you have conducted yourself.
Due processes were followed. It was put out in the public. We do believe that, there were some substantial benefits of the policy. We also believe that there perhaps were shortcomings, and like any other policy, it is in the public domain and the public responded to it. One very significant thing is that while the BJP makes all these allegations, and on the other hand, constantly remind us that the LG is actually the head of Delhi.
To make a point to Ms. Shazia,
then LG was actually in charge of the
when
policy.
She talks about the ED and the CBI and they're doing fabulous work.
No.
I never said they're doing fabulous work. I'm just saying, why did Manish Sisodia have to have this policy?
Let's not make it Shazia versus Abhinandita. I have to get other guests also. Shazia, stop. Shazia, pull back. You got it.
Can I
Okay, I'm asking that question. I'm asking some question. Let's structure it. Rohan, you see, the arrest of Sanjay Singh today is not because he gave a dare to the agency, because that does not happen when you take the matter to the courts. The agency has been pursuing it for some months now. Dinesh Arora was arrested or turned approver sometime in July this year. Subsequent to which, based on whatever information he has divulged / shared with the agency, due diligence has happened for almost 2-3 months. Then only a search has been carried out at Sanjay Singh's residence. He has been questioned and taken into custody. Now, we don't know whether tomorrow, we are in a bit, I think we'll go to the ground and Shravan Sen would be joining us live from outside ED headquarters, and we would see whether the ED is going to seek his custodial interrogation.
I've got data from the excise
Yes, Shazia,
department.
quickly. 10 seconds.
Data from the excise department, which shows that the sale of liquor in the first quarter of 22 to 23 increased by 59.46% in case of whiskey and to 87.25% in case of wines as compared to the financial year of 2019. But it remained in negative in terms of revenue. Negative. So what happened with all the high sales and consumption? Who got the money? Where is the money? That is what we're talking about.
Rohan,
my dear friend.
Okay, you made a point. Shazia, okay.
Let me because you know this has been a very one-sided
No, Shazia, okay. Shazia, okay. You made a point. Rohan, you see, Rohan.
Let me make my point.
Yeah, Rohan, let me frame the question. She is just giving you some facts and figures from the excise department. But my question is, the technicalities would be thrashed out between the agencies, both the CBI and the ED, and the courts of the country. The Supreme Court, in fact, has asked some very specific questions today to the Aam Aadmi Party lawyer, Abhishek Manu Singhvi. For example, did the increase in license fee subsume excise duty? Because the Aam Aadmi Party says that the license fee actually increased and the government's revenue increased. While the fact of the matter is that if you go category-wise, license fee, excise duty, the VAT, I think if you take them together, the overall revenue in the year 2020-21 decreased vis-a-vis 2019-20. That's something which has been presented to the court also. The question is, Rohan, that are you really defending the Aam Aadmi Party? And if yes, are you defending them politically or are you defending them on merits?
Abhishek, you started this debate with the question that the AAP has been expanding its base on the Congress at the expense of the Congress party. So we have no reason to be very open to the question is about the ED. Shazia Almi was talking about the specifics of this case about Mr. Manish Sisodia not getting bail. I want to point it out to her that in Bengal, the ED has been investigating cases against Abhishek Banerjee. And it is the High Court, the Calcutta High Court, which has been monitoring the cases. They have pulled up the ED. They have dropped the ED officer from the case. They have told the ED that, you have been doing shoddy investigations. So the question here is, what kind of investigation is the ED doing? What kind of, where are the convictions? There has been no convictions by the ED. Where has the ED, the ED has been only taking up the agenda of the BJP. It has been taking up the agenda of the BJP against its political rivals. And today, what has happened is, Mr. Sanjay Singh, who's a very big leader in the AAP, he was investigated, he was taken, his house was searched for 8 to 10.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we are getting live pictures from outside the residence of Sanjay Singh, where Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal has reached. Sorry to be interrupting, Rohan, but I have to speak to the visuals we are getting, which are on air, full frame. And these are from residence of Sanjay Singh, who has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in the Liquor Gate. And Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who is also the boss of the Aam Aadmi Party, has just entered there and seems to be inside confabulating with the family of his party's leader, who has been arrested. But coming back now, it's been a while. I spoke to Sumant Raman. Sumant Raman, while the merits of the case would be decided in the courts, whatever story emerges till now, it's difficult to believe that, as they say, there can't be smoke without fire. So at least till the time that a final conclusion is reached, you have to be little circumspect in defending the Aam Aadmi Party.
It was the ED and not the CBI that wrote the apology letter. You can verify it. It is very clearly the ED. In fact, Sanjay Singh even wrote to the finance secretary asking for permission to file a case against the ED director. So, ED director and the deputy director. So, you can check that out. That's one. The second point is really the law as it stands in India is that one is innocent until proven guilty. Now, those who say that these people are corrupt, they have taken money and all that, that is for the court to sort of pronounce a judgment on it. Hanging on to every statement in court as an observation which is made. In fact, several judges have gone on record to say that they make oral observations to elicit facts from both sides, or they even play the devil's advocate when the prosecution is presenting its case. They will take the side of the defendant to elicit more questions, and when the defendant's lawyers are speaking, they will take the side of the prosecution. Many judges are on record as having said that. So, to hang on to each and every statement made, observation made in court and say, oh, court has said this, court has said that, is not really appropriate, because none of these carry any weight. These are not appearing in any judgments. They are just oral observations, and they don't have any legal binding. Now, my point is very clear. Nobody so far.
Moral observations?
Now, the other point, Abhishek, which Shazia Ilmi does not seem to understand, is that a check will always leave an electronic trail. You cannot go and encash a check without the bank actually entering it into their system. So it is not the same as cash. A check has an electronic trail.
Sorry, Sumant Raman. But a check can also be a red herring.
You really need to
check can also be a red herring. I'm not saying it is.
Somebody said he gave checks. Somebody said he gave checks to the Aam Aadmi Party. It will take 15 minutes to establish this fact, whether the money was given or not. I'm sorry, Shazia, you're not. I am following the story. You don't seem to understand.
I think today is not your day. You know why?
No. I think you've lost it completely. I think you're really completely lost it. You're completely lost it, Shazia. I think you've completely lost it. I really feel sorry for you. I really feel sorry for you.
I'm told we are getting a breaking news development. I'm told we are getting a breaking news development. Shazia, pull back. I have a question for you. Shazia, because the Supreme Court has asked this. It's a teaser on which Supreme Court left today's hearing, and the Supreme Court said a political party is said to be the beneficiary of this, but they are not an accused or impleaded. How do you answer that? That's a question which I would ask Shazia, but then I have to go to a breaking news development. Please, all my guests, I request, stay back, because we are continuing this conversation on the other side of this breaking, which is coming in from the Enforcement Directorate itself. And it is about the Mahadev betting scam, which is another case in being investigated by the agency. Now, this is a big breaking development in which Ranbir Kapoor, the Bollywood star, was summoned today earlier in the afternoon. I'll go to Shravan Sen straight. He is reporting from the Enforcement Directorate headquarters in New Delhi. Shravan, over to you. What is this latest development coming in the Mahadev betting scam? Before I go back to the conversation on the liquor gate. Shravan.
Well, in fact, Abhishek, we have been able to piece together more details of this Mahadev online betting scam. One, with regards to the cash payment that were made to celebrities between September 2022 and March 2023, roughly about 42 crore rupees was paid. These were cash payments. In fact, remember, Mahadev online betting scam acts as an aggregator, which essentially means that there would be several other surrogate websites which are basically carrying out the illegal betting. Roughly about 6 of them that we've been able to identify by way of sources within the Enforcement Directorate. And all of these websites, interestingly, were being promoted by top Bollywood personalities. In fact, sources also indicating that in the next 24 hours, summons are likely to be issued. This is going to go to a top comedian We are also given to understand that celebrities are likely, at least 4 to 5 celebrities are likely to be summoned tomorrow. If you take a look at the number of celebrities who have endorsed, sources within the Enforcement Directorate say that a cumulative of about 100 celebrities and influencers have participated in the endorsement process. And not just that, most of them have actually received a payment through an event management company, multiple event management companies, and these were all cash payments that were essentially made. Now, the other important big breaking news now coming in, Republic TV has now got more details as far as the main accused of Mahadev online betting scam is concerned. 20-year-old, roughly about 24 if I'm not wrong, Saurabh, who is basically the main accused in this particular case and hails from Bhilai. He was the one who was running this entire betting scam along with his associate Ravi Uppal. We are now getting fresh details from top sources within the agency that the main accused was actually detained at Sydney airport. We do not know at this point in time when did the detention actually take place. In fact, he was behind bars for almost 3 days, and later on he was deported to Dubai. Remember, the difficulty that the agency essentially faces here, Abhishek, is that there isn't any red corner notice against him. There is no MLAT with Australia, and more importantly, there was no charge sheet that was filed in this particular case, making it difficult for any extradition process to actually begin. So he was deported to Dubai. What I'm also picking up is that he's also once again changed the location. We're waiting for another confirmation coming in, but the big detail essentially coming in with regards to the main accused who was detained and thereafter deported to Dubai.
Okay. Thank you, Shawan, for all these developments in connection with the Mahadev betting app. I hope in a bit you would also be able to get us some more information about Sanjay Singh's questioning and his subsequent arrest by the Enforcement Directorate, whether he would be produced in the court tomorrow and whether his remand would be sought, custodial interrogation as it is called. Shawan, stay with us, and I come back to the conversation that we were having on the Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP fight. Shazia Ilmi, Rohan said that I'm told Shazia has dropped out. Okay, so I'll go back to Sumant Raman because that's where we had left the conversation. Sumant Raman, we moved out of this story, the Mahadev app, and we are going back to the Sanjay Singh. Yes, and these are pictures of Sanjay Singh's arrest from earlier, and on the other side we have pictures of Aam Aadmi Party protest. We'll try and connect with Shazia Ilmi because a question need to be asked of her also, given the position of the government. And okay, so we have Aam Aadmi Party's Abhinandita continuing with us. Abhinandita, Sumant Raman says there is no money trail, money is taken by check, so obviously there is no corruption. My counter question is that if there is no money trail and if there is a check payment, which is only of about 38 lakh rupees vis-a-vis the alleged scam of 144 crore rupees, or as per Shazia Ilmi 585 crore rupees, obviously this absolutely minuscule amount of check is more like a red herring. Also, if you are saying that this is not a decision of an individual, it was a policy decision, it was an institutional decision. So that's the reason why the counter is, that's the reason why the investigation is taking so much time, because there are so many people involved. There have already been about a dozen arrests, and the ED or the CBI are still to reach a final conclusion insofar as the whole picture of the scam is concerned. So there is an argument on your side, but there is always a counter argument as well.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, has the former Lieutenant Governor who signed off on the policy, has he been questioned at all? No. So obviously it is selective, and and that is just one example of how selective this vendetta is. So that for sure. The other point about the liquor policy is that, you look at the other states that are governed by the BJP. You look at Karnataka, which was until recently governed by the BJP. You look at Goa, they have very liberal liquor policies. In fact, some of them are very problematic, leading to, severe addiction and many other problems. also a state like Gujarat, where thousands of people die every year because of huge tragedies. So there is a very, very sort of imbalanced, approach that the BJP has.
No thousands of people dying in Gujarat because of huge tragedy. I have to correct you there.
There are, there is
people dying because of huge tragedy in Gujarat.
Well, hundreds, I beg your pardon, hundreds of people dying, and that
Let's not digress. But I'm told Shazia Ilmi is back. Let me take this to Shazia Ilmi. You have made a charge. Sumant Raman made a charge. Rohan Mitra made a charge. Now I'm collecting those positions and throwing at Shazia Ilmi. Shazia, you see the Supreme Court teaser first. That if a political party is seen as a beneficiary, why not accuse or make the political party arraigned as an accused? Number one. Number two, Rohan says the low conviction rates of cases by the ED in these kind of PMLA cases makes us believe that maybe this is a witch hunt. Also, like Abhinandita said, why is the former LG who cleared the policy in the first place is not questioned? Now you answer.
So many, it's how sad is it? How many lies will we have to contend with? This is very basic stuff. First of all, it was the new LG, Vinay Saxena ji, who asked for the inquiry. The paper never went to the older LG, Anil Baijal ji, who denied having anything to do with this. So clearly you don't know your facts. And the second LG, Vinay Saxena ji, came much later. This was done at the time, the tenure of Mr. Anil Baijal, who said that these papers were never brought to him. There was no permission taken. That's one. It was done without any cabinet note and nothing official whatsoever. And in fact, Arvind Kejriwal's signatures are not there, it's only Manish Sisodia. Two, if the Supreme Court is asking these questions, then I'm sure the lawyers in place will answer the question, whether it's the Vakil from Sarkar or the council or state council, or is the other side. But my question is that if Supreme Court wants to reprimand ED or want to say, why is the Supreme Court delaying and so unforgiving towards Manish Sisodia when all the senior leaders, whether it's whichever party, Congress or Samajwadi or RJD, when all of them have bail, including Sanjay Raut, why is poor Manish Sisodia not getting out? Clearly there is something in the case because of which he is not being allowed out. And that is what I'm saying, that it is a courts which decide. They have to answer basic questions. You can't go to court saying, oh, this happened with Lalu, this happened with Sanjay Raut, and that's happening to me. You'll have to answer these basic questions on excise policy, on irregularities, on the money trail, on the money laundering, on the check component and the cash component, on why you were destroying evidence, or what happened to the money. Those are real questions. You cannot argue like this, like you argue here with me. Oh, you are very bad, you're doing this to us, we are very good people. BJP. There in the court, you will have to answer. Manish Sisodia clearly has been found wanting. He does not have answers. This is a serious case.
Okay,
now, there
Shazia.
is evidence of the money trail.
Unfortunately,
and this is why.
Abhishek.
Which is why the case, which is why there is no bail for Manish Sisodia. Sessions Court, High Court and
Politics
Supreme Court.
Is
not
about
once but 3 times. And Abhishek Manu Singh was told that no...
Okay, Shazia, thank you so much. Politics is about moral positions, friends. And as they say, Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. Aam Aadmi Party cut its teeth into politics, riding anti-corruption movement with Anna Hazare as their face. So obviously, this kind of smokes and mirrors game should not have been there in the first place. Agencies are investigating. The topmost court of the country is seized of the matter. In fact, Manish Sisodia's bail plea is going to be heard tomorrow as well. The teaser there on which Supreme Court left today's hearing is very interesting, which is that if the political party is set to be the beneficiary of the scam, why not make it an accused? And that's going to be a difficult question perhaps to answer for the prosecution as well. It's evenly poised on both the sides, charges, counter charges, and we will see how the battle really pans out tomorrow. Thank you so much, all our friends, for joining us on this conversation. A short break. On the other side, Arnab Goswami is back with the debate.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year. with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Hi, I'm Nupur and you're watching me on Republic. For us at the Republic Media Network, it's always been nation first. We have brought you news, views and debates through the prism of nationalism. We have never wavered from our pledge of putting India first, above all else. So if you believe in nation first, switch to Republic Digital on the 9th of October.
नमस्कार, आपके साथ मैं हूं श्वेता त्रिपाठी रिपब्लिक भारत से। आप सभी जानते हैं रिपब्लिक के लिए राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि है और अपनी उस जिम्मेदारियों को हम बखूबी पूरा भी करते आए हैं। सही और सटीक जानकारियां आपके सामने रखते आए हैं और आपका विश्वास भी हमें हासिल हुआ है। अब रिपब्लिक एक कदम आगे बढ़ रहा है और इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं स्विच टू रिपब्लिक डिजिटल ऑन अक्टूबर 9।
নমস্কার প্রিয় দর্শক, নমস্কার ভারত। গোটা ভারতের জন্য একটা সুখবর, রিপাবলিক ডিজিটাল আসছে এবং আপনাদের এবং আমাদের যে সম্পর্ক সেটা আরো গাঢ় হতে চলেছে। এবার মোবাইল ফোন থেকে শুরু করে নোটিফিকেশন সমস্ত জায়গায় রিপাবলিক ডিজিটাল আসছে এবং কথা হবে, আরো বেশি করে কথা হবে চোখে চোখ রেখে, ভিডিও শেয়ার হবে দেশের জন্য, দশের জন্য। সুতরাং এই মুহূর্তে যে কথাটা বলার, সুইচ টু রিপাবলিক ডিজিটাল ফ্রম 9th of October।
People who believe in three things. If you believe that the digital